Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. So today, thought I'd just watch this video with you guys. Thach Nguyen, you can't become wealthy in real estate if you don't ever buy. So I like pulling up different YouTubers, especially real estate guys. You guys know I call out the fake gurus quite often, and also credible people too. I go in and throw my 2 cents in. Thach, I think, has some, I think he's got some experience. I know he's a little different than I am. I've heard him say some things that I'm like, yeah, I have a little different point of view than he does. But nevertheless, he seems to have been, successful. I don't know how successful, but let's watch this. And I think I speeded this up just a little bit. Yeah, we're at 1.5 times. I like kind of burning through these quicker if I can. So again, let's watch this. You can't become wealthy in real estate if you don't ever buy. I say that old Jeff Davis, a contractor worked for many, many years ago. He'd always say you can't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket. And not meaning you got to take a chance, but you got to take an action. You got to do something. That is the truth. So let's watch.
Here's how I made over $430,000 with the sweat equity in this one single family home. Back in the day when I started real estate, you guys, 1991, this is one of the early 10 properties I bought when I just started getting some money. This is one of the 10. Today, I want to show you guys basically how much I paid for this, what did I do to it, and what am I doing to this property here from this point forward, and you're going to see why owning real estate is so powerful. I'm going to show you how I bought this property, what it's worth today, and hopefully I inspire you guys to start parking your money and rent a property yourself. Okay, so before we go inside and look at the property, I'm going to show you what I did to update this property. I'm going to break down what I spent to remodel this house, okay? Before we go in there, let me tell you a little bit about...
He's owned this thing a very long time, right? That's 30 years, right? 33?
How it all started. So I graduated from college in 1991. I was 21 years old. I didn't want to go out to college, fix an airplane with my brother. So
he's 10 years younger than me.
Went into real estate as a realtor. My first 3 years, I was sitting around doing nothing, okay, as a realtor. I was working at a grocery store, parking car valet, at a Chinese restaurant, and working at a body shop. I made really barely any money, and I lived in my mom and dad's house. I started as a realtor in 1991, and my first, 3 years, I barely made any money. I made maybe 1 or 2 sales a year. That don't even count, okay? And then I started picking up some steam, and I started out there, started making some money. I didn't make a lot of money back then, but my mentor Saul said to me, "You'll be rich if you sell real estate, but you want to be wealthy, you want to own real estate. So anytime you have the money, buy yourself some rental." Then he also asked me, how many property you want to actually own, right, to actually retire and having a passive income. And I calculated, I needed about 15 property paid off, and I get about 15, 20 grand a month for the rest of my life. And so my goal was to actually get, my first 10 property locked down. And in 1997, I bought my...
So it's interesting because I can relate to, you start out with goals. I remember when I first, started my cabinet shop, and I bought my cabinet shop, almost immediately after starting the business. I actually, you'll learn about that if you check out, if you go to FlipAnythingUSA.com, you can learn all about that. That's my page, right? FlipAnythingUSA.com. Urge you to take a look. But my first building, 19 years old, 5,900 square foot commercial industrial building. But, like back to Thach here, you have these plans, and then pretty soon, you think, oh, if I could just have a home. Oh, if I could just have a home and a rental. And then pretty soon it's like you just start thinking a lot bigger, because if you do it right, your opportunities open up, and you have just so much more that you can do than you ever thought possible from the very beginning. So let's keep watching Thach.
My first one. This right here, property I'm standing at, this is one of my first 10 property I bought, you guys, okay? And this property, okay, I barely had enough money. I put down 5% to buy this property. I didn't have a lot of money, okay? So I scraped everything I can to buy this property, because my goal was to buy 10 property. I didn't worry about paying them off yet. I just wanted to accumulate, just buying first. So I bought this in 2005, you guys, okay, for $224,000. So come on in.
2005.
I put down 5% on the deal.
So I said 91.
Okay? So I turned it into a rental from day one, and then the renters have been living here the whole time. They just moved out, and we got the crew coming here and basically remodel the whole house. I'm gonna show you some pictures of what it looked like when they moved out, okay? These are all new floors. So what we did was, you guys, we remodeled, we put all new floors, brand new paint job, all new trim. This is the original fireplace. I didn't want to do anything with this. I wanted to leave it original, so I didn't do anything. So I repainted the house, put all new trim, right? This was the light fixture that I was put in back then, so we left it alone, okay? And we had a whole brand new kitchen. All new LV floor, all new cabinet, all new appliances, all new countertops, all new backsplash, faucet, everything, okay? A new refrigerator. Come in here.
So I can say, so he's owned this property since 2005. So that's a long time. He's holding assets like this way longer than I would. And I'll tell you why. When I buy a house like this, I make my money the day that I purchase it. I bought 4 houses in the last 6 months. Each property about $100,000 to $150,000 under market value, and not needing a lot of work either. One took a lot of work. One I paid $225, put maybe, 80 grand in it, and it's probably worth $550. It's kind of that one they were going to make some real money on. But again, I don't love holding, and I don't advise my students particularly to hold anything for very long. I'll just give you a quick example, because he's showing you property he's bought. I'm going to show you some of the properties that I've purchased in my lifetime. So the first property I bought, course, this is a 5,900 square foot building. This is when I was 19 years old. I bought that building right there. And then I bought up most of the neighborhood. You can see, I actually, this was, I did an assignment on this, made 20 grand, bought this one, made 100 grand, bought this one, made 7,500. But here's one. See, I would never think of holding these, because here's the deal. His strategy was buy. He said, yeah, I don't care. I just want to be able to get it. I just want to be able to own it. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's the slow way to get wealthy, to be honest, though. But if like this property here, I remember this is a milestone because I didn't need a partner to buy this. I got this property, FHA loan, $34,000. I think I paid $36,000 for the property, put $2,000 down. I took over the loan. You could. It was an assumable loan. I poured this concrete you see back here where you see this car parked. And basically, I made a little mother-in-law's quarters. This is a junk pile. Looks pretty nasty now, but anyways. But I took a laundry room and converted it into a second unit, a mother-in-law unit, we called it back then. And so this would rent for about $450 back then, but once I put that little unit, I get $300 for the rear. Now it got $750. I sold it right away for I think I sold it for $56,000, 56. So I paid $34 and sold it for 56, made 20 grand roughly after fees. And but now that 20 grand, what did that 20 grand open up opportunity to buy another house that again was about 50,000 under market in that case. And so in other words, you have to flip. If you flip, you'll get richer very quickly. You just much quicker. But the slow way to do it is to just obtain and hold. But if you want to get it there quicker, this is the way you do it. But anyway, let's go back to Thach and hear his story, and I'll comment later.
These floors we replaced when we first bought it, so it was still workable, so we left it alone. We put all new tile backsplash in for the bathroom, okay? And these sinks we put in a couple years ago, so we left it alone, nothing wrong with it, okay? These are the original doors, we left it alone, okay? And then all these bedrooms, basically, these are all repainted, original doors, everything is fine, we left it alone, okay? Let me show you downstairs what I did downstairs. So this is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath upstairs. Let me show you what I did downstairs. All right, before I go downstairs and show what I did downstairs, when I bought this house, it was a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, okay? And the only thing that was downstairs was a wash and dry area and the furnace and the hot water tank, all right? The concrete floor. The renter moved out, and I know that I can get more rent if I actually finish up the basement. So basically for me, you guys, I know that if I want my ARV to spike, I would finish the basement up and make more bedroom and bathroom. Okay, this is how you spike it.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Just so you know, you can also do the same with a garage. You can actually just enclose a garage, get rid of the doors, and add in 400 to 500 square feet. That becomes living square footage. A lot of people don't realize when you see a 1,600 square foot house with the garage, they're not counting the square footage of the garage. But if you enclose the garage, you'll get the same rate per foot as you get for the rest of the living space. So you're getting $175 a foot in the neighborhood. You can enclose your garage, pick up 175 foot for the garage. Now, some people say, I got to have a garage, and that could be a deal killer for some. But overall, you will make more money on the house if you enclose the garage because it's living square footage. Put a heater vent in it. Now you get heat blown in. And anyways, just a tip for you.
So remember, how you add value in real estate is by adding value and forcing value. Adding value, remodel already existed, which was the upstairs. Forcing value is this. Come on down.
So just like I showed you earlier, I took that laundry room and turned it into a second unit. He's basically adding more living space, and it's totally fair thing to do. It's smart.
Forcing value is adding more bedroom and bathroom when it doesn't exist yet. So all this is already here, but all these bedrooms, there's 2 bedroom, a bathroom, and this washer and dryer room was used to sit right here. So we basically framed it out, plumbed it, put French drain in, put heater and everything, and we added 2 more bedroom and a bath and a washer and dryer room down here. Now this house has double the square foot and 4 bedroom, 2 bath, and this is how you actually force value. And by doing this now, when I ever comp this is a 4 bedroom, 2 bath. I bought it at 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So you're gonna see here, all LVP floor, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, okay?
Low ceiling.
All new.
See how that ceiling? See how low that is? Look up here. This reminds me of, because see, if you didn't have that sheetrock up there, you'd be seeing all the plumbing. In fact, when I was a kid, this is Washington, I think where it's at. When I was a kid, I lived in Washington, and I was a little kid. And I remember our landlord had a very stern talk with my mother and said, tell your son that our basement is not a jungle gym. He figured out that I was hanging on to the pipes, and I was using basically all the plumbing that fed, the stuff above the basement. I was using it as a jungle gym, and I was kind of hard on it. And we rented, so that's why. But that's why you see a zero space above this molding. This is a very low ceiling. He's a short guy, I think, so it kind of see it here, Vince. Thach.
Tile downstairs, cabinet, countertop, all new, basically bathroom, all new subway tile, okay? We did all this work, okay, for about $45,000. $45,000, okay? There's a lot of things I didn't do because it's still workable. So I did all this for $45,000. So basically, I paid $224,000 for the house back in 2005, and I put $45,000. So basically, I'm all in for like $260,000 $9,000, call it $270 for this whole entire house, okay? This is my all-in number. So you want to guess how much I can sell this property for today? If I were to sell this house today, I can easily sell this for $700,000, okay? That means I made over $400-some thousand plus, like $430,000.
Okay, now see, here's where me and him differ. He is wasting money. I mean, this house probably rent for maybe $30,000 a month, $3,500 a month, maybe, right? Well, that is a very low return on a $700,000 asset. And that's the problem with houses. They're really not, you make your money, you know, this is why a little property like that can be worth so much, is because it's an emotional purchase. People buy houses, it's all emotion, right? It's not business, it's not money. I mean, even I don't know why he's holding on to it, to be honest. I would turn that thing, I mean, as soon as it was worth $500,000, I would have got rid of it, and I would have taken that $250,000 equity that he's got, and I would have thrown it into something else. And let me tell you why this is important. This is why I'm very different than Thach and most people out there, but been very successful. So I want to just show you, this is 80s stuff I did, right? Let's come back into the 90 through to present. I'll show you a property I bought not that long ago, but I want to explain exactly how and why and why I did what I did. Let's see, it's industrial warehouse. So I'm going to show you a property here, and this is why I'll buy multiple houses and hold on to them. So this is a property, I bought this about 3 years ago. I paid $1.6 million. This is roughly a 16,000 square foot industrial building. The company I bought it from the company that actually is still in there. They're my tenant now, and they've signed a long-term lease. But here's the deal. I bought 3 houses for $129,000 a piece. Let me see if I can show you one of those houses real quick. And so I sold this house here. Okay, I paid $105,000 for that. I sold it for $565, and then I sold these 2 houses. I sold this house for $600 and this house for $620, or vice versa. So basically, I got about $1.8 million between these 3 houses. Now it's important. I bought those 3 houses and I held them in a I don't hold anything by name. They were in a separate entity, but they were in the same entity, owned all 3 of those. And so when I found that property, the one that I just showed you, the industrial building, I found the deal. It was a great deal. It was worth 2.4 when I bought it. I got it for 1.6, and it was worth about 2.4. Well, it was because I wanted to roll all 3 houses into that purchase. And so by finding the deal first, getting it tied up, and then selling these 2 properties and this one here together, I was able to defer all the gains, which was over $1 million, into the purchase of that building. And so now, and that's why I tell you about the houses being an emotional purchase, you don't bring in near as much money per dollar as you do on the industrial, commercial, office, even multifamily, because multifamily is a different animal too. It's based on returns. So by selling these 2 and this one here, I went from making roughly, I think I probably made $4,500 net a month on these 3 houses, which is not bad, but consider that it's such a low return on the value of those properties, kind of like what he's got going there, that you'll understand, because by rolling these 3 assets into the purchase of that other one, now I have a net $12,000 a month income on that same property. I went from $4,500 a month to $12,000 a month net income from what was really 3 houses that I bought for less than $400,000 collectively. I paid $129,000 a piece for them. So anyways, just keep that in mind. And this is where I differ a lot with guys like Thach, but nevertheless, doesn't mean he gets you there a different route. I think a little slower pace, but that's okay. Anyways, hey, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You don't want my channel to get away from you. Let's keep watching.
Plus with the sweat equity of this one house. Now, some of you might watch it and go, well, of course, you bought this property in 2005. Of course, you should make that much money. But listen, how many of you watching there now this video, and it's been 20 years already gone by your life, and have you bought a rental property yourself? And if you did buy a rental property, how many properties did you buy in the last 20 years? There's only one of the over 200-some properties I own around Seattle, from single family, multi-family to apartment building. But the moral of the story is this. When I bought it in 2005, I didn't have a lot of money. I was stretching my money to buy this property. I just had 5% down, okay? Barely had enough money, but I sacrificed, because my goal was to actually get like 10 to 15 property bought and paid off, okay? So I can live off the cash flow. So 20 years ago, 2005, right?
So I would say he's not doing the best job he could do with this money, but nevertheless, it doesn't matter. Listen, you hit the ball and you hit a triple, or you hit a home run. Either way, you're still batting the ball. You're still getting on base. You're still making money. And so yeah, I'm of the opinion this is a waste to hold on to such a valuable asset and use it as just a residential rental. A lot of people accumulate property like this, and once they get it, they don't want to let go of it. It's like security, makes them feel good. And I understand that to a large degree. But again, I'm a numbers guy. So I would tell Thach, I would say, dude, you're not getting near the money you can make. You can make a hell of a lot more money on the equity that you have in that home by rolling it into a different asset. And that's one of the things I specialize in. And many of my students, and I'll just go back to my students again. Many of my students here have taken my path. They've made it, $1 million since they've been in the class. They made $1 million on land. Some made $1 million on buildings. Some made $1 million on houses. But the goal is roll that asset into buying commercial, industrial, office, much, much less work to do. It's clean. There's 20% less bathrooms. You almost have zero carpet to deal with. Much, much easier to take care of. I just, like a 20,000 square foot building, I might have 2 toilets and nothing to take care of inside and barely any grass to even trim on the outside. But you give me 3 or 4 houses of the same value, and you're going to have 5 times as many bathrooms, 10 times, 100, maybe 20 times more yard to take care of. There's just a lot of downsides to residential, but the upside of residential is there's a lot more of it out there. You can buy it under market, and that's what I do quite regularly. I bought 4 houses in the last 6 months, and on average, $100,000 a piece on each of those. But let's finish up with Thach.
This was market value. I didn't look at this like, oh my God, I need to get a deal. No, it was a decent deal back then, right? And I bought it. Today, I look back, it was $700,000. I put 45 into it. I look like a genius. It's paid off by the renter, and I put some extra money down to pay it off. Now I just collect the cash flow. I'm gonna rent this house out for like probably anywhere between $3,200 and $3,500 right now, okay?
I guess $3,600. So again, like I say, there's nothing wrong with what he's done, and he's making some money. But again, it's not the most. In other words, this is what's nice when you deal with somebody who's been doing this for a very long time. And I know he's been doing it for 30 years, but I got a different perspective on it. But you can make look at my 3 houses. He's getting $3,500 on this. I was getting $12,000 net on those 3 that I paid less than $400,000 for. Right? In other words, I paid $129,000 a piece for those 3. And so, anyways, it's a different mentality. But either way, so good job, Thach. Again, not exactly what I would do, but it's not bad advice. It's just different.
This got done. So this is just one of the many houses I own that just collected rent. So if you're watching this video, I want to say to you, okay, it's a long game. Okay. Go out there and make your money from active income. Whatever active income you make, if you make an average amount, you're producing millions of dollars a year, live a good life. But if you're smart, take some of that money and just park it in a stock or park it in rental property.
As long as you're having fun. Look, I concentrate on owning less properties and owning more footage. I have over 200,000 square feet of rentals. That's offices, that's commercial buildings, that's industrial buildings. Houses, I generally just turn houses. I probably have, 15 houses maybe right now or something like that. All of those will be sold at some point. Again, those are for making money on in the short term, not to hold. I have some houses I've held just so I could sell them to my kids. I have 4 kids. I put 2 of my girls have already, I put them in nice homes for about half of what they're worth. And so, it's a cool thing. So we got different reasons for doing different things. But let's listen to the rest of what he's got to say, and I'll make some final comments.
Because 10, 20 years from now, right, when you get older, you get into the 50s like me, you're going to run out of energy, you're going to have less motivation, you're going to be working, you're going to have to spend time with your grandkids, and you're not going to want to work that much. Then the question is, what are you doing for income? And what kind of net worth do you have then? Today, I have over $100,000 a month in passive income, and all my property ain't paid off. Once it's all paid off, I'm going to have over $250,000 a month in passive income. I have $100 million in real estate today. If I want to cash in, I can have all that money, but I don't want to cash in. I just live off the cash flow. And this is only now. In the next 20 years, I have over $1 billion in real estate, folks. I'll be a billionaire by then. But I'm not working for it. It's just money to just keep growing and growing and growing. But it all started with planting 1 seed. This is one of the 10 seeds I planted back then that got me started. So for you guys, go out there.
I don't know if he's going to get to $1 billion on the path he's at, but he's done okay. It's just math. That's the beautiful thing about real estate in general. It's just math. You can just put a pen and paper to it. As long as you have a realistic and you don't fool yourself, you can really. You can put yourself on a very good path. But number one, you got to buy under market. He said he got a decent deal. I don't settle for a decent deal. I settle for an exceptional deal. Everybody knows in the class, if it doesn't feel like Christmas, don't buy it. There's always an option to get a better deal. I want you to look at this. Look at this inventory. That's your inventory. You're never going to run out. There's all kinds of real estate all around you all the time. And this is where I prove out and show people that look at all this. This is all, every one of these deals you see is I personally negotiated, not a team, not a group, not a partnership, maybe 1 or 2 partnerships in there, but not many. And 99% of everything I've ever purchased, I've purchased by myself. And this is like in the last 30 years right here, and it goes over. There's all kinds of buildings here. But if you go back to even when you go back to my when it was my teens, right? Go back to my teens, and we jump to a whole different state, but it's the same thing, right? And take a look. I want you to show you everything's nearby, right? Stuff's near. Everything's within the same town. There's a piece of land I made $130,000 on. That one I did another piece of land out here. I paid $140, sold it for $520, made $380 grand or $350 roughly. You know, houses, buildings out here, killed it on land, about 70 lots out here on Lake Elizabeth area. So, you know, you just have to, you know, you need a mentor. A mentor will fast track you to where you get. I'm sure Thach is a fine mentor, but you know, if you want to look around, you want to compare, I urge you to come take a look at FlipAnything USA, and you'll have a very, very broad perspective. So let's finish up here.
Work, make your money. Take some of the money, park it in real estate. Because 20 years from now, okay, when you look back, you're going to own 10, 20, 30 property, and that thing has grown to millions and millions, and now it's paid down, paid off. You're going to be sitting real good in your 50. So be smart. Set yourself up early. Make your money. Enjoy yourself. Set it up so that 20 years from now, you guys can actually have even a better life. All right, that's a wrap for this video. If you guys enjoy a little bit of a history of myself,
So look, good job, Thach. And again, you know, we all get here different ways that we get here. And sitting still, doing nothing, you're not going to get anywhere. You can't become wealthy in real estate if you don't ever buy. You got to buy. But you got to buy it right. You can make a terrible mistake. I have a saying I tell everybody, easy to do, hard to undo. You know, you get a bad mentor, take bad advice, buy something. I mean, forget the money that you spent on the mentor. 10 times worse shape because you bought something that you know, you took bad advice and you buy something. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. And so I try to prevent that from happening. You know, I have very few people that I ever collaborate with on YouTube. It's because so many frauds are out there. The guys that get the majority of the attention are fraudulent. They're not what they pretend to be. They don't have the experience that they profess to have or mislead you to have. So anyways, that's it. Thanks, Thach, and hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment on the video, whether you liked it or not, or your thoughts on it, and always game to hear it. If you want to see me review or look at somebody else or look at something else, I'm always game to do that. And that's it. See you later. Oh, also, go to FlipAnything USA. Be sure to check out the mentorship. Don't miss that, folks. Don't miss out. Look at all the success here. Also have a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Been a bestseller on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. I urge you to get the books. Been well reviewed and well liked. So thanks for watching.
And listen, time is on a mission to eliminate all the snake oil and the fake gurus that fake y'all. He'll show you how to build an empire, starting with nothing but a desire. All you really need is a good mentor, not a used car bullshit. With time, you'll learn to crush it. Investing like Warren Buffett. With real estate, you cannot procrastinate. Everyone who hesitates is left at the starting gate. Hey, yo, so don't delay and join today. The mentorship and FlipAnything USA. Go.